That was Curtis Blow, Christmas rap. What I often hear is Democrats and black people being blamed for the demise of the inner cities. Look, and I've heard it from rappers. I've heard it from politicians. They're always asking us to explain the inner cities. Well, we'll explain Baltimore when people explain the entire southern region of the United States of America. We'll explain Detroit when you explain Appalachia. Now, here is what I do not understand. So Donald Trump ran on Law and Order. But yesterday, I watched a senator, an elected official from Georgia, talk about how he had been threatened, how a young poll worker, election worker had been threatened, how the governor had been threatened, how the Secretary of State had been threatened. And they are threatened specifically because they will not break the law and their oaths. They will not do what is the opposite of law and order. They will not break the law for this president in the service of him. They won't do it. And for that, they get death threats. And they rightfully came out and said, one of them said specifically, somebody's going to get hurt, somebody's going to get shot, and somebody's going to get killed. Why exactly? Because they will not break the law and order that he ran on. But those same people who are complaining about their lives being at risk, I'm sure that the Secretary of State of Georgia, I'm sure the governor of Georgia, I'm sure that elected officials all over the country, the young man who was in charge of the digital protection of the election, he has been threatened. Where were those people when that young man, Kyle Rittenhouse, slaughtered 2 people? Where were those people when the governor of Michigan and Virginia were threatened and under the threat of kidnap and murder? They were going to kidnap them. Why were they silent then? Why is it only important when it happens to you? You have served a man who has used threats of violence, who used threats of anger against all kinds of people, and now when it visits your door, you decide to say something about it. How is it that a group of people who pride themselves on law and order bail out a murderer? How is it that you laud a man, a young boy who is driven to the scene of a crime by his mother? How is it you bail him out so he can have a nice Thanksgiving? How is it you scream law and order? How is it you denigrate a president now who now has... And how did you vote for him anyway? You voted for him anyway, even though you knew he had caused people to rile up and threaten to kidnap elected officials. You voted for him anyway, even though he said to stand back and stand by. You voted for him anyway, even though he weaponized white anger and sent him to the polls to try to stop people from voting. And now that you're in the bullseye, and you're in the bullseye because you wouldn't do the very thing that he has always demanded. Break the law for him. Look the other way for him. Do anything for him. And now all of a sudden, you're having a problem. Somebody's going to get hurt. The country's been hurt. People have been hurt. How many times did we read about somebody who got threatened because of a Trump supporter? Or somebody sent bombs to somebody? Or somebody shot people down and said the things Donald Trump said? Here is the problem. Law and order has been your calling card, but you have turned the other way when it was being broken. You turned the other way when people were being threatened. You turned the other way when bad things were happening, and now it is visiting your door. And now that you need the law, and now that you need order, you don't have it. If you respect a thing, you should respect it when it happens to somebody else, and not just when it happens to you. I am very sorry that these things are going on. I'm very sorry that people that are just doing their jobs are under threat of death. I'm sorry that we have scientists trying to protect lives and they were threatened. We have governors trying to protect lives and they were threatened. We have people trying to make sure we have a lawful election and they are threatened. And the very threat that you now live under is the thing you turned away from. And now it has visited your door. And now your family's dangerous. So that law and order you scream, where is it when you need it? That's a little note from a GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It is the DL Hughley Show.